world of online dating. A lot of people are looking for love. Some people are just looking to hook up with somebody. Some people just looking to make friends or have a good time. So today's special guest is Charde, and Charde is the author of a book called The Good, the Bad, and He Ugly. So today we are going to talk to Charde about online dating as a whole, but then also what it takes to be a published author.
So, hi, I'm Charde. I'm a massage therapist by trade. That's my day job. And I'm also a mom of two girls. And I published a book in 21.
We still want
Yes.
people to go and buy the book, so we're not going to give them all the tea and all the details, but I do want to give them a little snapshot of what they would get if they, purchased your book. So give us an
Right.
overview of the type of content they can find in there.
The book is kind of like me talking to my friends. Like, if you were my friend, this is what I want you to know to safely and effectively online date, no matter what you're looking for. Like she said, some people, or like you said, some people want to go on there because they're looking for a sex buddy. Guess what? That's fine. Some people want to be courted, and you can achieve all those levels of dating online. But there is ways of going about it, and that's why I wanted to write the book. Like, I wanted to guide people.
Okay, so what type of person makes a good candidate for online dating?
I think everybody, and that's kind of why I wrote the book too, is I was running into so many people that's hesitant. I have to meet somebody in person. Why? Because that person you met in person, guess where he at online? Guess where she at online? You can vet people better if you meet them online than in person, because a lot of times when you meet somebody in person and you get all those googly eyes and you get all that feels, and then you're not thinking properly to be like, what is your goal here? Sometimes we'll just veer over to what they want because we met them in person. We like that vibe more than we realize we like that person.
I said it's not for everything, thinking that some people don't use social media apps. Some people don't, use the internet on their phone that way. Some people are maybe in a different generation where they don't care as much about the internet. That's one thing. But then the other thing is that there is this negative stigma attached to online dating, where I've talked to other people about online dating and they basically said, oh, no, I would never do that. And it's like, why? Why would you never do that? Because some people in our generation is like, but you have Facebook, but you have Instagram, but you entertaining them people who in your DMs. So what do you think that you're going to get from an Instagram message that you wouldn't get from online dating?
And that's what I want to debunk with the book. It's like, you can, like, those are thoughts in your head. It's not reality. Those are fears you're making up. Definitely people that haven't done it. Those are fears you're making up. Or people that have done it and have been catfish, have been, done wrong, whatever. It's because they didn't effectively and safely date online. Everything that's in the book was things I would tell people constantly. Because like I said, I'm a massage therapist. I've met thousands of people over my career of doing massage. So I know all, and that's why I again say all people, because I've met all walks of life. And I don't know one person I'm like, that person shouldn't online date. Yes, you should. I would say you shouldn't online date this way. I wouldn't even say without certain intentions, because it is fine to have certain intentions as long as you're clear.
It starts with a profile. So what type of
Yes.
stuff should be in your profile? Talk about the picture and the bio.
Yes. So in the book, I give you everything, but I'll give you a couple tips. So if you're a female and you're online dating, but say you want to be courted, because a lot of us, we're tired of this YOLO lifestyle where you only live once and everybody's only meeting somebody once and then they're moving along. A lot of women are tired of that. So if you're looking for something like real and substantial and like going to last you a long time, what are you wearing in these pictures? If you wear my outfit I have on now, guess what you're going to get? The guys that's looking for sex, because they're saying, oh, she has her chest showing, this and that other. She must be comfortable with her sexuality. Certain clothes is going to signal certain things. They're thinking you're doing it on purpose, even though that might just be the way you dress. Because I like to dress cute. I like to say I'm a hoochie mama. Like,
You be
I
a
am
little
a
sexy
hoochie.
with it, huh?
I am a hoochie mama. But do I look for something real? Yes. Am I going to be a hoochie mama on my profile? No. Dress like you're going to your grandma's barbecue. You're going to wear something cute, but you're not going to wear something that shows everything, because the grandma going to be like, child, if you don't go change. So, so wear something cute in your pictures, but cover up to here. You know what I mean? Cover the legs. Show one side or the other. Don't have legs and chest out in your pictures if you're looking for something long term. For men, what I say, dress nice. We're visual as well. A lot of men don't understand that women kind of date like men. We just think differently. We both like that attraction. So get yourself as attractive as you can. And the thing is, too, is be confident in who you are. Some people are catfishing because they're not confident in who they are. If you're big, guess what? People out here looking just for you, okay? So don't go in close and do all these pictures where you're not showing your body because you're trying to get all these likes. No, you need one person. Unless you're polygamous, then you look for more. But let me tell you, you can get that. You want people that's going to want you when they meet you in person. You don't want just people that want you for your online presence. So that's my main tip for anyone, is to represent yourself well, but represent yourself, not someone else.
Right, and another thing she talked about in her book is have recent pictures. You can't have a picture that you took 3 years ago, 6 years ago, and then we go on this date, and I'm like, who are you? You
Who
don't even have
are
the same
you?
hairline. You might have gained a little weight. Just all these things. You need to look like the person you are in the mirror, not the person you
Yes.
were 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
You never want the feeling yourself of walking up to somebody and you know you done sent them pictures 10 years ago. You don't want that reaction of their face either, because guess what face they gonna do? They ain't even gonna want to, but they gonna be like,
Let's give the people a little bit of insight into what makes a good bio. Because in your book, you basically say focus on the positive. Don't talk about the negative and what you're not looking for. And you want to, leave a little bit to the imagination.
So a good bio is going to tell them about you, what you like, what you do. Also leave them questions to ask. The bio is the first thing people see. The next level is messaging. Bios are quick glances. Most of these apps are made to swipe. So if I'm swiping and you have a 4-page letter to tell me all about yourself and what you need, I'm not going to read it firstly. And then you're going to be frustrated when I message you and ask you some of these questions. You're going to be like, it's in my bio. Well, don't put all that in your bio. I want your bio to be a good 4 to 6 sentences that captures who you are and the fun you are. Like, hey, I like to read for fun, or I like to zip line, I like to travel. And then also let them know, what your intentions are. Hey, I would like to find someone that's looking for something real, but don't put it in like a negative way. Don't be like, but don't be inboxing me don't be talking to me if that, and don't put anything negative about yourself or about others. Like, I know guys on here be, I know women on here be. Don't have that on your bio, please. Heal yourself. If you're not healed, if you're not having a good day, don't write your bio that day. Wait till you're in the best mood about yourself, confident, happy, feeling sexy, feeling good. Everybody has amazing attributes about them. Write that about yourself. Keep it positive, keep it light, and keep them wanting more. What questions can they ask you later? If you put everything about yourself, this is my job, this blah, 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 what am I going to ask you?
So we got a good profile, a recent picture, a happy picture, dressed in decent clothes, nothing too provocative, nothing old and raggedy. We got a short, positive, happy bio that talks about my best attributes. Now, I'm swiping right. And it's time to get to the messaging. Let's talk about good conversation starters.
It's time to be a little nosy but also being respectful. I do want each person to be their authentic individual self. So I don't want to guide you too much on how to be you, but I do want to tell you things that could be argumentative. So you don't want to talk about religion, because a lot of times it's on their bio anyways. So I wouldn't say that have a religious conversation at first, a political conversation at first, or how much they make or where they get their money from. That's not something you need to know in the beginning. As much as so many people in America date and want that financial stability or want to feel like they're going to be a strong financial structure with someone, money can change. Bill Gates can be broke tomorrow. Don't worry about that. See what their characteristics are. That's what's the difference between a broke man and a rich man. A broke man has a broke mentality. A rich man has a rich mentality. Those are people that work hard, strive for things. So somebody might be broke today because they might have been on the top and then, but everything is stocks, blah, blah, blah. So they're not technically broke because they have money in the bank, but they don't have money they can spend today. But tomorrow, all those investments can earn them money and they can be up here. But you're judging them from here and you didn't, because you didn't learn them. So I just want the beginning conversations is learning that person, seeing what their personality is. The first conversations is, what makes you happy? What makes me happy?
But another important thing we need to talk about is safety. So in your book, you basically remind people that just because you've been messaging a person, do not be so quick to trust these people. They are still strangers. Like, obviously, you should not share your exact location where you live or the neighborhood. But what one other tip would you give?
Always your first date, meet in public. I don't care if you've been talking to that person online for years, which I don't recommend that in either. Make sure that other people can see you.
Okay, in your book, you talk about millennial syndrome. I learned a few things by reading her book, but millennial syndrome, I had never heard of that.
Because I made it up. So that's
Charde.
That's copyrighted. It is copyrighted. So it's by Charde. So millennial syndrome is why so many people are single. In today's day, everybody's looking for the next best thing. So your girlfriend can be perfect 10. Your boyfriend could be perfect 10. But you looking online and you're like, there's a perfect 20 out there? I need that. So when you have an argument with this person you're dating, talking to, whatever, and they start to say stuff you don't really like, people don't work through it no more because they're like, you a 10, there's 20s out there, I don't need you. We need to get out of that. There's no perfect 20s, none. It's not even a perfect 10. Most people are 80 out of 100. You're going to get 80% of what you want. The other 20% going to get on your nerves, but you can deal with it. That person is perfect for you. It's not going to be 100%. And we don't realize that today because we look online and we see these fake relationships and all you saw was this couple. Every time they post a video, they're in each other's head, doing each other's hair. They're kissing. They're so cute. But you didn't see that they had a whole blowout argument about a text his ex-girlfriend sent him. You don't see those things. So you think it didn't happen. It did happen. Millennial syndrome is a mirage, kind of. It's this fake movie romance that we want. And so when we don't have it, we're not giving enough people a real chance to get to a relationship level with you because you're like, I'm worth a lot. I need somebody that's worth a lot. Yeah, you are worth a lot. And you do need somebody who's worth a lot. But guess what? You had somebody that's worth a lot and you threw them away because you thought you could get something better. Because social media has shown us fake people for so long that we think they're real. They're not. Those girls got stretch marks and cellulite too.
Yes, fake people, fake hair, fake eyelashes, fake bodies, fake lifestyle. Do you know how many people are faking it? Acting like they on private jets when they really at a selfie museum taking pictures, acting like they living in luxury when they're really borrowing someone else's designer items, or taking pictures with an item and then returning it to the store, selling it on Poshmark just so they can look like they're living this lavish lifestyle when they're not.
When they're
there's
not.
people who full on prostitutes. I took it there. There's people full on prostitutes. And you don't know what people are going through to get this stuff and to have this lifestyle. So
stealing. Like maybe that wasn't even theirs. Maybe they stole it. You get what I'm saying?
Scamming, PPP loans. Do not believe what y'all see on the internet. That's my whole point. It's fake people and it's fake relationships. And you don't know what that person's going through behind the scenes, just like Charde was saying. It could be some type of domestic violence, emotional violence. It could be a whole lot of cheating going on. It could be people living two different lives. They married, but then got this girlfriend on the side. You never know.
God. They have an open relationship all of a sudden when everybody catch them cheating. Then it's like, oh, wait, but our relationship was open because they still want to seem perfect to you. No, she was just as shocked as hurt by it, but she ain't going to act like that. That's the problem. That's why I say it's a syndrome. It's a defect that we have as millennials because of this constant media feeding our brains things. You know what I mean? Like, I remember one time I took a picture on a motorcycle. It was my birthday. And I love motorcycles. So this guy had this dope motorcycle. I was like, oh, can I take a picture at the back of your motorcycle? Of course. I took a picture. I put it on the internet. People thought somebody gave that to me for my birthday. No.
Viewers, I need you to remember that comparison is the thief of joy. Just because it looks good on the internet does not mean it's real. Yeah. And I just want to affirm that I really like your 80-20 rule. I also live by that rule. And I feel like I first heard about it in like a Tyler Perry movie or something. I know it probably depends on what you're looking for, but what dating apps would you recommend?
I don't, because again, I love the individuality of people, and I'm not trying to guide you to be anything other than you. I would say certain apps equal certain avenues. Sometimes none of the apps gonna fit you exactly. So I wouldn't say don't try certain apps either because you heard certain things. We heard Tinder is very much a sexual app. Not always. Just know there's good people in all walks of life. It's just like saying all Black people do this, all Hispanic people do that. No, it's not true. It's some people, or maybe it was like a bunch of people in that group that did it, but that don't mean all of them did it. I just say go for the best dating app in your area. Numbers is key. In Texas, it's different apps that people use versus when I lived in Michigan. Some apps are very detailed where they'll ask you if you like them tall, dark, and handsome, and then they only gonna let you see those people. And then in some apps, they'll show you everybody, and then you have to filter through that. So it just depends on you.
Okay, so earlier in the show, you talked about catfishing. Have you ever been catfished?
So this book was definitely, and my advice definitely came from my experiences that I didn't want other people to go through. And that's another thing about the book is I try to make you very good at never being catfished. So at the beginning stages of me trying to figure out online dating, a guy who had this like gorgeous men pictures up, blah, blah, blah. And we were talking, whatever. And then we finally met up. He was a totally different guy. Didn't look nothing like the guy in the pictures. And I was just confused because the guy that ended up meeting, I actually seen him in person at a Walmart. He was with his son, and I'm not about to approach you when you're with your son. Now, I'm not an approacher anyway, necessarily. I thought he was handsome. So when I seen him in person, I was like, you could have just had you and I would have talked to you. But since you put it was his cousin, come to find out. But since you put your cousin, what else did you lie about? Or like, what are you so insecure about? Or what are you hiding? Because some people have girlfriends and that's why they don't put themselves, or wives, or other situations of why they don't put themselves on the internet.
Now I want to transition to the process of writing a book, right? Because some people tuning in may be interested or curious or have something that they want to share with the world.
So my start was obviously my friend suggesting that I should do it because I was giving so many people advice. What I started to do was write down in my phone. I had an app in my phone for notes. And so I would write notes on like my experiences, what I do now to like never be catfished again, like what I look for, what signs I look for. This was years, mind you. I would write down advice I would actually give to people, write down what was actually working for these people I was giving advice to. Because like I said, I'm a massage therapist. So I would see some people weekly, monthly, whatever, and we'll have these conversations. So after I wrote notes for years, then I put down like a layout of like, okay, what all goes in what category, in sequence what happens. So I have my book in sequence from start to finish. I want to start you out with your bio, your very beginning stages of online dating, all the way to you being in a relationship. I have a chapter called Situationships versus Relationships. Like I want to get more people in relationships that's been stuck in situationships. And I want to get people who wants a situationship to be clear about that with other people. So I wrote it all in this notebook I bought specifically for my book on like whenever I have free time because I'm a mom. So it's rare. And then I typed it out and then, but what do I do next? I didn't know you had to copyright. I didn't know you had to, have a IBN number, stuff like that. I didn't know I needed an editor. So from there, he edited it and he put a table of contents, page numbers. He just helped me through the final steps to where it could be on sale. I say reach out to people you know. And there is companies that do it too, but you're going to pay an arm and a leg.
Do you know the person who illustrated this? Did you do it yourself? Did you hire a person? The diversity, let's talk about diversity, right?
Yes!
Because I do diversity and inclusion work in corporate America. So
yes!
I was like, yes to the representation.
I love everybody. I want everybody to read it. It is for everybody. This is a catfish. So you see this one head on the computer. It's a different body underneath. She's a catfish because it's really a guy. And then this little girl is me. Came up with the idea. And then as far as like, I wanted to look like the avenues you use for online dating and then have the people. And then my designer, so I found a designer through my nephew because he has like a t-shirt company. But I gave him a picture of me and he made my little Charde. So that's my little cartoon Charde. I love her.
Because I also have a book. My book is about diversity and inclusion. Thank you, but I definitely felt what you were saying about the process. I also hired an external copy editor who was a good value add because number one, they're professional. Like they do this all day, every day, live, breathe it, right? So copy editor, highly encourage that. But then I also had a graphic designer who put together my layout. And she basically got my book ready for publication on Amazon and things like that.
The putting it on Amazon, like I was guided through it, but after I did it through Amazon, it was easy to do it on Barnes & Noble. It was like kind of the same process. So like you don't have to hire somebody for everything. Like once you learn the skills, you can do some of those things yourself.
Yeah, but let's talk about the cost. Do you remember how much you paid for all of this stuff?
So my editor, I think he charged me $100, but that's because I have a shorter book. So if you have a longer book, it's going to cost more. My designer, I think he was $75. My graphic designer was $75.
Did you actually have to pay to put it on Barnes & Noble's platform?
Nope. Because they get paid by your book sales. You putting your book on there is basically just a upload for them. It costs them nothing, so it costs you nothing. But when you go to printing it, people buying it, this and the other, they charge the person, they charge you. So they get their money that way.
So do you have hard copies of your book available anywhere, or is your book only print on demand? So a person logs onto the website, they say they want to buy a copy, it's basically printed and then shipped right to that customer.
I looked into getting into Barnes & Noble, like the actual store. They do have a lengthy process. So I do want it in stores one day, hopefully. But right now it is on BarnesandNoble.com and it is on Amazon.com. And sometimes if you catch me in person, you can buy a book. For me personally, I do have the book also in 3 libraries.
Right. Getting the information out into the end user and the end consumer. Yeah. That's good. So what tips do you have for marketing a book?
So I follow you. You taught me so much about marketing the book. So I use my social media, but my social media is private, so it's not as big of an audience. So I definitely am listening to you on more public ways of getting my book out there. And I also made little cards because you know how you be in conversation with somebody and I'm like, I wrote a book about these things I'm telling you. And they're like, oh, really? You have to hand somebody something tangible. How fast are you going to remember a book's title if you just had that conversation? So I give them a tangible card to where they can go and buy the book.
I like that because so many people are just in the age of, we're an electronic person. Use this QR code to scan this. But what happens if they exit out of that browser? Then they exit out of your book. And another good thing about physical things, exactly. So you can leave those behind at stores, restaurants, wherever. But even if you give them to a person, it's like, okay, I did what I need with this. Let me give it to my cousin. Let me give it to my best friend. Like they can keep passing it along. I do the same thing with my business, Dress Code 187. I always give out promo cards for that have the website. If you bought something, tag us. Here's a promo code for you to get a discount when you shop. So I definitely do that. But another way for you to market an online book is me and Charde talked about LinkedIn. Like my book is called The 5 Essential Competencies of an Effective Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Leader. People are hiring new D&I officers every day. People who don't know what they're doing. So it's like professional development type content. And depending on your content, you can get a lot of sales from LinkedIn, right? So a majority of my sales have come from LinkedIn. Me creating original posts, but other people engaging with the post, sharing the post, you know, things like that. So
okay, sorry.
No, you good. I like the energy. I love the energy. And you really are all smiles, like how your bio says, I love the smile.
You know what? I do. So my nickname in high school was Happy. I don't know. I love people. I love life. I love helping people. And like anything that I got that, I'm smiling in this face. Yes.
You clearly wrote the book to make money, right? You told us that you're a massage therapist during the day. But what's the craziest thing you've ever done for money?
Probably rode on the back of a school bus.
What do you mean? That was a job? Like you had a part-time job or a full-time job chaperoning?
Oh, you mean like a job or like a dare? Because that was a dare.
So you were hanging off. You were like hanging off the back of a bus.
Like, you know the door on the back of a bus? I was holding on to that.
Okay. How much money did you get for that?
I don't know. I was an elementary girl. Probably like $15.
$5?
Yes. Like, ooh, I can go to the candy store.
I like your approach because nobody else has ever given me a dare.
I never had any crazy jobs. I mean, I was a waitress. I did to-go a lot. I worked at stores. I guess my craziest job that I've done for money is massage therapy, babe. But I've done that for 12 years. Rub people's feet. you know.
What is your favorite TV show or series with a predominantly Black cast?
Housewives of Atlanta.
What advice would you give to a person who's considering online dating?
My advice would be that you should do it. Read my book, do it. You can do it. Be confident in who you are. I don't even care if you're not confident. You will learn your worth when you start seeing how many people want you as you. Take pictures of yourself, like as in recent. I actually recommend that someone else take pictures of you. If you're doing something that you have fun, like a hobby or something that you love to do, or an adventure, have somebody take pictures of you in those moments. Go out there and do it. That's my best advice, is to jump in there. Read the book is my best advice, because it has all the advice in there. But you can do it. You can do it, and you are worth it. You are amazing and perfect for somebody. You're not perfect for everybody, but everybody is perfect for somebody.
What advice would you give to a person who's considering writing a book?
Take your time. You don't have to rush it. It doesn't have to be done tomorrow. Write down every single thing. If you're not like a writer on pen and paper like me, put it in your email, put it in your phone, put it in whatever apps work for you. But take your time so that you can really think about what you're saying and why you're saying it, because it is going to go to so many eyes and ears, and you want that to be the best way possible.
Like Charde said, organizing the content is so critical to make sure that it resonates with the reader and that it flows well. So I did my first outline in a PowerPoint so I could shift slides around, copy and paste, and really organize it. And then you can export that into a Word document and do other stuff with it. So that's another little tip, little key, little gem for tuning in with Currency Club. If you're thinking about writing a book, we got all the info here. You just got to tune in and hit that subscribe button to join the club, right? What is your greatest accomplishment as it relates to being an author?
So my greatest accomplishment to me was when I was able to get my book into the libraries here in town.
That's something that didn't even cross my mind or my radar. So now I'm about to research and figure out how to get my book in libraries, because that's good.
I'll tell you, girl.
All right, we're going to talk offline. When you are feeling down, what song, artist, album instantly puts you in a good mood?
So everybody needs their uncle. So I listen to Uncle Luke, Scarred.
I was not ready.
I asked you if you was ready. I asked you if you was ready. She twerk, okay?
Okay. Charde, thank you so much for your time today. You are an amazing guest. As always, you're a good person, but all my guests are amazing.
They are.
I want to close out the interview by just leaving the viewers with a few inspirational messages.
So my first one I want to give you is, don't allow yourself to have a bad day. There should never be such thing as a bad day. You might have a bad moment in your day, but don't let that bad moment steal your whole day. So always have a good day. And then secondly, I want everyone to know that support can be free. If you can't buy your friend's book, you can share and like their post for free. I used to have a Share Your Shit Saturday, so y'all can pick that up, where you share everybody you know with a business is shit. Share their clothing line, share their book, share their, yes! Sharing is free online. If you are on their Instagram, on their Facebook, share their shit. It's free.
Be sure to buy her book, The Good, the Bad, and He Ugly, on Amazon or Barnes & Noble platforms. We will drop all the information in the description box below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to join the club.